Okay, one of my mates, Jack, wants me to share his game thing, and I'm not sure why he's going to me because I have a very small social media outreach. For the past 5 years, on and off, I have been working on a very special project. This is a game he wants to make called Cicero, maybe? It's like the Italian word for sister. And let's see. In it, you play as like Esmeralda escorting your little sister Catalina home from, I think, martial arts practice. When a van kidnaps your sister and drives into another universe where you have to team up with people and fight other people, and the game would like learn your play style because eventually you go against yourself and it fights you using your own style. Then you find out that like your sister is the main villain or something, and you have to choose to either kill your sister or let it be. And the obvious choice is to kill your sister. Anyways, on with this. For the past 5 years, yada yada. Others have come and others have come and go. Others have come and gone. I will make that, and I have had several obstacles to overcome in this journey. But today, I'd like to share with you a little bit of the progress I've made. Progress I've had. Okay, I'd like to share with you a little bit of the progress I've had for a game I've been working on for a long time. Allow me to introduce to you Sorilla. Okay, Sorilla, not Cicero. Um, my action adventure RPG game. Now, I wanted to go about this in several different ways, and of course, it's not nearly as much as I wanted to show you, but I'm trying to keep it reserved for the sake of not showing all my cards. It's a bit too late for that. On my end, not his, I wouldn't be able to pull any of this off without the wonderful skills of multiple people who I'll list at the end. I have been working on this for a long time and mostly alone, but only recently was I able to make any real progress, and that's thanks to them. Now, as for the reason of this post, I'm not asking for money. I don't feel comfortable taking any money until I can produce a demo of some kind, something for you all to hold. Instead, I'll just ask that you spread this, get attention as much as you can, because no matter how long it takes, this game will come out, and I want to make sure nobody misses it. Thanks to my team for being so supportive and helpful and putting so much effort into this. I mean, it means a lot to me. And he mentioned several names, none of which are mine, even though I know for a fact I've helped him. You better amend that. And some other guy who doesn't have a Facebook. I hope to be able to share more with you soon. Until then, I'll be hard at work. Sincerely, Dutch Boy and the Arrows dev team, which I'm not sure, but I feel like I'm part of that. If not, then I am now. I'll be honest, I know pretty much none of these people, but he looks like your average run-of-the-mill hacker, with his knife and gun. Then he has what looks like a canteen and, a flask attached to his belt. He probably talks like this and stares, brooding over the city while smoking a cigarette. He has the white streak in his hair to show his age. Even though he's too old for this shit, he still does it anyways. Why? Perhaps to make a difference. Perhaps to prove to himself that he can. Yeah, I mean, he looks pretty much like a normal guy, kind of edgy. He's probably one edgy motherfucker. I did not realize that he had a self insert. This is definitely Jack, the Dutch boy himself. Here's Jack as a character. I don't know, I don't really know what to say about this character. He's wearing a white cape, or, well, cloak type thing, and a beret. Oh, and it looks like he has triangles under his eyes. I did not notice that. And for some reason, he's wearing a fanny pack as a. I'm gonna mess this up. Banderbroil, the chest belt. This is the main character, I'm pretty sure. I've actually drawn this character. But, she's the main character. She does kung fu and travels through this world chasing her sister and eventually has to choose whether to let her sister live or die. I believe this is the librarian. It's another character I've drawn, and I'll put all this stuff up somewhere in the end, as well as drawing the other people. If I remember correctly, she's like a magician, and she had like magic tattoos on her face. Yeah, she had like a star on her face. I'll also put up his drawing, which is what mine were very loosely based on. And her hammer is a pretty neat one. I drew it, but I'm not sure if I saved it. It's like it's kind of like, well, hammer's the wrong term. It's maul, and it's like in the shape of a ram's head, something like that. This is another character I drew. I don't remember the name of the elves, but it's an elf. And, standard assassin wearing clothes that are horrible for being an assassin, bright pants, white stockings, white bra with a sheer top and no gloves. That's not really good if you're going about trying to hide your identity, assassinating people. The mask is good, but your fingerprints. And it would be one thing if this were in the Middle Ages when they didn't really have fingerprinting things and went about determining criminals by hearsay and burning them for witchcraft. But in this world, they have vans, and I'm pretty sure Kingdom of Hearts is a game that exists in it. So what she should be wearing is, first off, probably a light armor, like something maybe Kevlar or a Gambeson. Gambesons are really good armor. Probably a dark red or gray, dark green, blue. If she's in more of a, I'm assuming she's going around at night doing the knife and people. If it were in a more urban area, maybe something, I guess, more gray. She'd want to wear something that is inconspicuous, protective, and helps her obscure herself in situations where she's going in and doing the knife. She'd obviously want to wear gloves because that's a no-brainer. Then I'd also have her in pants with probably taller boots, something maybe up to the knee with a built-in knee pad, mostly because I think those are aesthetically cool. Then her hair would be best in like a ponytail or cut really short. Mask, I'd keep the mask, although I'd remove the design and just have it match the armor clothing. And I'm picturing her clothing would be, if not completely monochromatic, mostly monochromatic. You might have like a bit of a camouflage design in it if you're in an area where that would work better. Oh yeah, this guy, Finn the Human. He's like a caveman person, I think. This is Finn the Human when he's grown up after Jake's died, since dogs don't live as long as people. He's buried him. He has a grim outlook on life. He's taken to drinking, as you can tell by the wineskin. And looks like we're at the end. So, now we're going to go into my drawings and redrawings of his stuff. We're going to throw my drawing pad. Okay, and here is my take on the assassin character. I've obviously deviated quite a bit, but she's got an obvious Asian influence in her design. If I went back, I would redo this as I said she should be, but I was thinking more of a Chinese influence with a bit of Korean thrown into it. So she's got the shoulder pad of a like dragon or dog. I gave her a bun. She's still got the same mask with the fancy markings, but I extended I extended the mask to go down into her shirt, which is just a standard shirt. I gave her poofy pants because why the hell not? Then definitely I gave her leg armor, and I gave her a falchion. A very fantasy one, but still one. For his main character, I didn't really do a reimagining, I just drew her in my cartooning style. So, yeah, she's got the hair and the ponytail, the vambraces. I found another thing. This is a map I did of his game world based on a pretty rough skeleton he gave to me, so yeah, here's the game world and a quick map of it. And this is the drawing I did of the Librarian's Mall. Okay, so here's the initial reimagining I did of the librarian. She's a mage, so this one was mainly to figure out what she'd wear and a loose idea of what she'd look like. Since she lives in the desert, I gave her baggy clothes. So here is my concept for the librarian's face, or these are my concepts for the librarian's face, based off of the D&D alignment system. One would be lawful good, which that one, she's got the full forehead covered in her tattoo with a nice black underline, I guess. Then her hair's branching off to where it's literally on fire at the ends, which is probably not a good thing. Two, the design's more of a Celtic pattern. It's glowing, as are her eyes. Then her hair's, despite being, like, in this one she's blonde rather than a ginger, with her hair branching off into a blue flame. Number three, chaotic good. She's got more of a prominent magic tattoo on her forehead. I made her a little older, a little more experienced. She's got her hair tied up in a bun like a librarian would. And that one's probably one of my least favorites. Four has like some sort of interesting design with Skrillex hair. Five would be neutral. And, she's pretty basic in that one. Looks like a person going to a rave or something. Six is in my opinion, pretty cool one. And in it, her tattoos are more Norse influenced. And as you can tell, she's completely bald, with her head literally being on fire. Like, how cool would that be? 7, lawful evil. She's got full-on glowing eyes, some weird tattoo, and her hair is her hair is in tight braids that are burning. It's a rather disturbing one because she's got soulless eyes, crying blood with her mouth stained with blood, and her hair also stained with blood, and her hair is like this bleached white. Then 9 is one of my favorites because it features the yellow sign of Hoster, who's my favorite Lovecraftian deity. And in it, her skin's really pale, like she's literally died and is back up walking the earth. Her eyes are in this one missing, with deep black pits and 2 motes of blue light gazing out. Then her hair, I'm picturing kind of tentacly in this one. Like she could use her hair to grab onto stuff. Probably not much, but I'm sure someone could find a use for tentacle hair. Actually, that sounds pretty badass. So, anyways, yes, these are the face concepts for the wizard, librarian, sorceress. This is actually drawn by Jack himself, and she's incredibly pale in this one. Sitting in a chair. I actually almost took the idea of her being in a chair as like her being in a wheelchair. Like, I thought that would be a neat angle to throw on it. Then that's what I got the inspiration for her hammer off of, that ram thing. Obviously, I changed it a bit. I changed it a bit. Made it less of a scepter and more of a maul with a nasty spike coming off the end. Like, that spike would be devastating. up my device. Okay, so yeah, here's basically what he would look like, and if I were making him. Someone who's scarred from living out in the wastes. Dirty, tattered, he's got a scraggly beard. Then the white hair I extended into his beard, his eyebrow, and hair. And I'm thinking he got like hit by some nuclear radiation or something that's permanently taken the pigmentation out of that and scarred him around here on his eye. Then I'm thinking this entire bandage arm would be full on like radiation burn. And his pants would probably have some sort of camouflage pattern. So that's this guy. Next character. Yes, he's got way too long arms, way too short legs. Obviously he wouldn't have that, but this guy I'm not really too inspired by. He still has his fanny pack. The fanny pack's on the back of the sword right here. And yeah, he's got his Dutch hair, Pope hat. Actually, I kind of like my drawing of this guy. I might do that. I might come back to this later on and do a cooler version. Here's Finn, what I would do with him. Give him a big bushy beard, make the bear hat more of a bear pelt, and pretty much keep the rest as is. Maybe give him a Glock. Yep, there he is.